Let's talk about how to get a site ready when you have to get rid of the nasty grass monoculture. Now, in most suburban places, we are plagued with good old American grasses. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not totally against grasses. I do think they're very practical when it comes to having a yard if you've got dogs, entertainment spaces, and that sort of thing. But we don't need as much monoculture grass as we oftentimes have in our yards. Now, there are a lot of ways to get that site ready to introduce new plants and more biodiversity. In an ideal world, we all have chicken tractors and we're moving them through, letting the chickens do the work, do the weeding, do the fertilizing, tilling up the soil, eating the weeds, and then we plant right behind them. But I realize that is not always possible. Now, option two is you could possibly chemically treat it. I don't like to use herbicides and that sort of thing, so I would use something like horticultural vinegar. It's a 45% vinegar, or an orange oil spray to kill it off. And then I would let it sit for a few days, put down some contractor paper, and then plant directly on top of that with some good, rich compost. But sometimes even that isn't the ideal scenario for certain spaces. So right here, I'm using a solarization method. So this is a 4 mil plastic that I'll get multiple uses out of this. So I'll use this again and again. And I'm going to let this clear 4 mil painter's plastic sit here for about a month to 6, even 8 weeks to really cook the grass. Now, the clear is going to actually kill off more microorganisms, but it is going to work a lot faster. You could potentially use black, but it does take longer. It also doesn't kill off as many microorganisms. So you really have to determine what the scenario is for your specific case. And since this is my new house, I'm trying to have my family come and visit in September. So I want to get this area ready in the back to do a native perennial flower bed, kind of an English cottage garden sort of vibe. So in 4 to 8 weeks, I'll remove this plastic, I'll roll it back up for future use, and then I'm going to re-inoculate the soil using microorganisms. I like to use BioAg because it has 17 different probiotics that are all grown together in the same mother culture. There's a link for that in the link tree in the bio, by the way. And then once I re-inoculate that soil with probiotics, I'll add some good rich compost, plant my native perennials and some herbs, maybe even some tropical spinaches in there. And then I'm going to add lots of wood chips on the top to always cover the soil. If this was helpful for you, please press like, leave a comment because it always helps the algorithm. And be sure to check out our free gardening calendar. We publish that every month. There's a link for that in the link tree in the bio. Thanks so much. Have fun, and I will see you in the garden.